listening to GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
GUFON Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
GUFON Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to GUFON Radio Stream. I am your host, Rich Giordano, and it is Wednesday night, August 28th, 2019, 4 minutes past the hour. How the heck are you on Hump Day? Where's Mike? Mike. Remember that commercial with the Hump Day? I can't remember what that was for. When the camel walked by, the guy was at work, and he's going, Mike. It was Hump Day. Anyway, I just always think about that when it's Hump Day. Don't know why. Anyway, welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, like I'm saying, 2 more days, and then it's the holiday weekend. 3 days off. Spaced Out Saturday is going to rock. I got Jeff Willis coming on. It's going to be a fantastic show. 3 hours of just Arizona sky watching, and Jeff has some good things, new things, and interesting things to talk about. He's a lifetime experiencer, and I have 18,000 hours of sky watching. He's probably got 30 to 35. I mean, the guy's been doing it a lot longer than I have. So we're going to talk about some things. I want to put him on the spot on some things about the Phoenix Lights, because he knows some things about the Phoenix Lights that I don't think I know. And I'm very interested. Now, Dr. Lynn Kitai, who made the documentary, The Phoenix Lights, has been around. She's on a couple of new shows. I saw she's going to be on that show Contact, I think. I don't know, but she's going to be on this new show. I think it's on Thursday or Sunday, maybe Friday. I don't know, Saturday. someday this week. It's coming up. But Dr. Lynn, like a lot of people, have kind of changed their story, which kind of brings me to one of tonight's topics of spirituality and ascension, why it's such a hot topic, and why we have, I don't know if it's accepted as a way to communicate, but we'll talk about it with aliens, with us, with each other. There's just so much stuff going on in the paranormal world. It is just, to me, it's mind-boggling. Anyway, I want to welcome everybody in the GUFON chat room, my GUFOniacs. I got Will McBride of Frankenstein, Tranquility Base 69+1, PBR, Street Gangbang, B Baker's Dozen, Spook Cadillac. That's the name. It just came out. Spook Cadillac. Coralan's in the TV set. Who else am I missing? I know there's a bunch of you I miss. Oh, Mario Heatwave, Renee Cruisin', God of Thunder and Lightning and everything else, and all the others who I can't see. Welcome to the show. So I am going to be a dick tonight. Just a little. Can you see me? Because I just had a blackout over here. I don't need to see what I need to see. Can you guys still see me? I don't have my phone over here. I left it. Can you still see me? I need to know if you guys can still see and hear me okay. It's all good? Okay. Let me know if the screen starts flashing. I'll be keeping an eye on the chit-chat room. Jaime's not here tonight, but look at the size of this thing. What does it say? It gives in a separate bowl, whilst together, 1 cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 baking powder, 1/4 pound, 2 ground espresso. Oh, okay, it's making a big. Look at the size of that thing. It's bigger than my head. This is actually caramel coffee. It's freaking unbelievable. It comes from, oh my God, that was so hot. I think I burnt the top of my plastics off. Wow, that was hot. You think I would have learned? Where's chocolate? Where's coffee? What's the name of Linda Moulton House Cats? Chocolate and muffin? Muffin. Right? Chocolate chip muffin. Isn't it? Chocolate. I'm going to get animals and I'm going to call them, I don't know, Cancer and Gout. That's what I'm going to call my next pet Cancer Gout. I don't know. Gout. Come here, Gout. What are you doing? Chimp Covfefe. Jim Covfefe's got some gout, I heard. Fluffy. That's right, Fluffy and chocolate. I had a dog named Fluffy, got ran over by a car. That's why I'm so nutso over the Angus thing. 6 years old. My brother had passed away. So to make things easier on me, I guess my parents got a dog like a week after. And we had the dog a couple of days, and my neighbor's dog came to the front door, and then he came to grab the dog. So I go to open the door, and my dog Fluffy ran out after their dog and into the street and got run over by a car. Over the back tires ran right over. I watched the whole thing as I was chasing after him. Picked the dog up. The car kept going, didn't even know it. And I take the dog home, and it was peeing all over, and my parents came down. The neighbors came running in from outside and saw me with the dog, and it passed away in my hands. So I have a very rough emotional attachment to Fluffy. Whenever I hear somebody naming their dog Fluffy, I immediately relive death. It's a beautiful thing. So when I hear Chocolate and Fluffy, I just want to say, hey, F you and your Fluffy. I can't hold it against people for naming their pets Fluffy. I just can't. I won't. I shan't. Anyway, that's probably why I'm so psycho when it comes to being emotional. I'm an emotional person anyway. Have you figured that one out? I wear my emotions on my sleeve. Not as much as I used to. Now I just wear them on my clothes. Wait. That's the sleeve, you idiot. Well, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what I'm meaning. So tonight I have some interesting things I want to talk about. Now, I was on Spaced Out Radio, as you know, did my very first weekend show on Saturday night. And unbeknownst to me, someone who ran that program, Tessa, comes into the chat room and boldface lies as she is in the chat room telling people to come to her after party show, after my show or whatever, trying to steal the thunder. I didn't know it because I don't watch the chat room, right? Well, I found this out after the show and I was pissed. I don't know if I talked about it, but it pissed me off. And then I said, who cares? She's not going to make it anyway. And I have a segment tonight that I'm going to talk about where I think I said, what is it? Why hosting paranormal radio isn't for everyone. And I'm going to explain why. And I think I'm going to make some really valid points, really good, valid points. Now, we're going to start off with it. We're also going to talk about the Betz sphere. I don't know if you guys if you know about the Betz sphere. I never even talked about it. Ever, I don't think. I think I may have talked about it on the AZ UFO show like a decade ago. But there's more discovered spheres. And there's a video of this examination of watching this. These spheres were found. Oh, well, I'll save it for later. But they're like alive. And they're made of metal. And then we'll get, if we have time, VIDIOTS. Now, when I was making the show tonight, I said, I don't know if I have the energy to go 2 hours. But I as soon as the light goes on, yeah, I got the energy to do it. So we'll see. We'll see as people start climbing in here. I think some people are just taking their time. You know, people understand this show already tried to crash. But we have little crashes now. We don't have the major one where everything freezes. But it'll happen. There's nothing I can do. I've done every test imaginable to make this show work perfectly. This is it. Sadly, and I don't know if it's sadly, I love doing the show without the video. I loved it. I have to be honest with you. I missed it. I loved it. And I felt I was better for it. I felt I gave a better show. But we'll do both because we got too much invested in GUFON. And it doesn't mean, every show, we have to play videos. I can just talk too. But that wouldn't be fun. Hey, Richie. Hey, Dick. Hey. I gotcha. So let's talk about this, right? I'm going to get a drink. Why hosting paranormal radio isn't for everyone. And I think this is an extremely important topic. And maybe I didn't word it the way you would have liked it. But I couldn't think of a better way to put it. Why it isn't for everyone. Because it isn't. And there's some sadness inside of me for what happened with Spaced Out Radio. Not only what happened with Hulk, but with what do we call this one? I don't even want to say its name. What do we call it? Oh, I'm going to call her Bigfoot. I don't know why. I see her as big and hairy. I don't know what it is. I think she's got one of those deep, dark, happy trails from the belly button. You know what I'm talking about? Like really rough and rugged. Like it hasn't been trimmed. All right, I need a drink. I'm going to get wired, and then we're going to get started. Everything I had in my head that I wanted to say, It never translates. It never translates the way it comes out here. Hey, I think I have the other camera set up. Oh, come on. That should be working. Why isn't it working? It's the top side cam. No. I don't know why it's not. That sucks, man. I set that up and everything right before the show. Oh, maybe because we had the glitch. So what? Next time. All right. My whole face vanishes in that cup. Dude, it's huge. I mean, this is like a quart. I mean, it's really big. And this thing's the size of a softball. So imagine a softball plus. Hey, look, the 8-ball can actually fit in it. No problem. No problem. Oh, your mother's got 95 arm tips. Oh, my God. I got to show you what just happened. It's drying up already. I just had all that coffee. Oh, this is great. This is just great. Great. I just cleaned the whole desk, too. Like minutes before the show. I got out here with the good stuff. I got all the grease and all the seeds and sticks off, which there aren't any. I'm joking. Not in my stuff. Are you kidding? Get about it. All right. I thought you were saying when I saw my whole head fits in that cup, I thought you were going to say the screen has gone out. My whole head is disappearing. And I've got my one of my smaller skulls. I have another one that is in a box inside. I've got a big one. They're expensive. It was $400 for the bigger one. Yeah, I'm going to bring that out. It's packed away now. The only reason I never brought it out, I kept it in my bedroom on top of the actually, it's in the closet. And when you walk into the closet, it looks right at you. It's the size of a bowling ball. A little smaller. But I love it. My wife got it for my birthday. $400. $400 for a piece of glass skull. Crazy, right? It's beautiful, though. You can't even see the seams. I'm telling you, it's real. It's a real skull. It's a real crystal skull. Anyway, so back to this. Let's get going. So I'm doing the show. I don't notice this, but well, I don't know what to call her. I don't want to say her name. I just don't like it. I don't like it. What do we call her? Squatch? What do we call her? Can somebody tell me? I'm waiting. I can't do this. And I have the person before me. There we go. Stressa. Oh, I love Mark Dice. Love Mark Dice. Stelter, he always makes a voice for him. Does it perfectly. Yeah, I listen to every morning. I listen to him. But he does such a short video. I want him to do longer videos, man. But I guess he does them every day. He is funny. When he talks, he bounces. And here we're going to go. And Brian Stelter. And he's just so funny. Gets so animated. Yeah, he's a good guy. You know who else I really started listening to? Louder with Crowder. It may take you a minute to get used to him, but he did this other character, an interview with someone from the left about abortion. Oh my God. I think his name was Tyler Turdson or something like that. And he puts on some like a porno mustache and fake tattoo on his arm, and he changes his voice. He looks like he's an American Hispanic guy. Oh my God! It was just, if you can ever look for it, find it and watch it. Louder with Crowder, and I can't remember his name. I'm so out of it. Crowder. Very good stuff. Crowder is hilarious. Tranquility Base 69. What do you say? Predator. No, we're going to go with Stressa. Stressa. So, Stressa is in the, I love Stressa. Freaking awesome. Oh, Nate, I didn't even say hello to you. Nathan's Hot Dogs, how you doing? Chuck Bam Bam Bigelow. Yeah, that's what I see. That's what we're going to say for you tonight. Chuck Bam Bam Bigelow. So, I started thinking. Because she had an opportunity, as did Hulk, to really have a place where they could grow. And they had Saturday and Sunday night. And they were on regular radio. Lots of people listening. Nice full chat room. But neither one of them can leave graciously. Neither one. Dave, I never heard him say a bad thing about her. Not a damn thing. Not one. Not even on the side. He was upset and hurt. But he said, you know what, Rich? He's like, I don't know what else I could do. I'm repeating myself. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but he's like, I give, and I give. And I don't need to be disrespected. I don't need to be talked to that way or talked about that way. And what's sad is, I mean, Dave's like real emotional about it. And I hate to see my friend get upset. Any of you would feel the same way. And he would say, what really started it all, this is all I know, is that she does these after-hour parties and started talking crap about Dave on the Spaced Out Skype, which is part of Spaced Out Radio, which is Dave's business. It's an entity. It's an actual business that will be a source of income. It is, but like a main source of income for Dave and the rest of us. Whenever it happens, next year, 6 months, whenever it happens. So he needs to make sure that things are kept professional even in the after hours, and they weren't. There was, now I don't know, but I've seen a lot of Mary Jane activity, like, and I don't know if it is, but when somebody acts a certain way and can't keep their eyes open and they're laughing and they can't control it and they don't understand what you're saying, they go, obviously something is a tad askew. Well, Dave can't have that image on Spaced Out Radio. He's trying to sell the company to radio stations. Stressa, please don't do that. Please don't do that. If you want to have an after-hour party and do this type of stuff, make your own channel up and tell people to go there. And that was a conversation that was continuous every week, it seemed like. Stop this, stop that. It's like babysitting. And he didn't need that, man. The guy's trying to sleep on the weekends. He works all day. He works on the weekends. He's got to get up early. He's got a family. He just wants somebody who can do something, do a show, be professional in the after hours as well on the air. And he doesn't have to worry. He told me, he said, Rich, you want to know what was great about having you on Saturday night? He said, for the first time, and I can't tell you how long, he says, I didn't have to worry. I knew you would hit the brakes on time. I knew you would start on time, end on time. I didn't have to worry about anything. And I thank you for that. And I said, wow, thank you so much, man. I go, really? I go, you really? He goes, Rich, he goes, buddy. And when Dave's real serious, if you know him, you know that tone. And I knew he was serious because I thought maybe he was just trying to make things a little bit, like, hey, great job. People say stuff just to say it. but I get the feeling he was genuinely thrilled that he didn't, because he was doing a ghost tour. And he doesn't want to be interrupted with text messages. I can't get this to work. All you're doing is pushing a freaking button. How hard is it? I can't hear this. This won't play. This cut out. I'm not live. Something's wrong. Every week it was something else. And that's what I'm talking about when I say why some people should not be hosting maybe I should put serious paranormal shows or real. I mean, Stress is good as a podcaster, but not as a professional. She'll never make it. Nobody in their right mind. And when she reads stuff, it sounds like she, you know that kid in 5th grade? I mean, you're like, dude, it's the 5th grade. Why are you still reading like 3 people told me they have sympathy support. He may not be heavyweights, but we are heavy. You know what I mean? It sounds like they're reading. Look, Dave gave a chance to Stressa that nobody else would have ever given. And to come on to my show, my first show, and lie to everybody and say, oh, I approved it with Dave. It's okay that I advertised this, and drop a link to an after show party. Bold-faced lie. Dave said, are you kidding me? I would never approve that. Never. He says, I don't allow people to do that in my chat rooms, and we're not going to allow it on yours. I said, good. Especially from somebody who you gave the opportunity to. And he had to let her go because she just couldn't. You guys remember the show when she was on in January? And she was on. I did an interview with her. And then after the interview was over, I said, okay, have a good night. And then she kept on talking as far as I remember. And I'm like, okay, that's the end. I got to finish the show. So I hung up. I said goodbye and everything. She calls back in. And, couldn't figure out why everything ended. I'm like, the interview's over. I'm finishing my show. I'm still doing my show. Okay, I got to go. But why? I don't understand. I got to go. I'm doing my show. Please don't call back. I hang up. Calls right back. It was about 7 times. She couldn't figure it out. That's because Mary Jane was probably all over her shit. All over. You could tell. Either that, or she was purposely trying to sabotage the show after she was on and promoted herself, which I doubt, but it seemed that way. It was so crazy. Well, to do what she did Saturday proved to me and to anybody else who has ever followed her that she is a disrespectful person. She is not, what do you say? What do you call it? She doesn't, like Dave gave her every opportunity. Every opportunity in the book. What is it called when they're not, it's almost, she's 40 years old. So, I mean, she's not a millennial. She's an old lady at this point. No offense. I'm an old man, 51. But she's old. She's old. 40 is not the new 30 for her. She definitely looks it. For her to do what she did in my chat room and lie that and said Dave did it, that just shows me that she doesn't give a crap about me. So I, being as immature as I am, will not give a crap about her. I mean, she disrespected the hell out of me that January night, and it made me so angry. Not only that, I saw people going into her, like I was just looking, and some of you know these people. I'm going to show you something. And I know 3 or 4 of these people have told me that, look, I went over there because it was her first show, And I was trying to show support because we did have a relationship, which is fine. I mean, that's fine. You can do that. But I probably won't be going back to listen unless something is very good on the show. Like there's a guest. Like, I don't care that they went there, but in a way I'm like, are they there because they're curious? Are they just being nice? How could you say her show is good and then say my show is good? That shows me that my show either really sucks ass or hers is phenomenal. You can't have it both ways. No, Rich, we're just supporting her. Why, though? Why would you support somebody who's disrespectful to somebody who gave her a shot and disrespected and talked shit about Dave after Dave politely said, Stressa, you cannot, this is why she got fired. You cannot be doing this, whatever it is she was doing, on the SOR. You can't be talking about what we do business-wise on Spaced Out Radio Party After Hours. You're on our chat talking about things that are private. So he says, you got to end it. So she ended it, started up another chat, another Skype call, whatever it was, and started bashing Dave more. Talking shit about him like he's not going to hear it. What a disrespectful POS. So here's some of the people. I mean, I like these people. I just don't understand. And you don't have to explain to me. I don't need an explanation. But you see, I mean, this is confusing to me. I mean, these people, I guess, listen to her show, but listen to Dave. You can't stop what people listen to. I understand that. But how could you say great show? That means you're lying to me. You're lying to me because this was a piece of crap. I can't listen to it. It is like nails on a chalkboard. It is awful. She's just not cut out for podcasting either. Just awful. She's a prime example of why someone shouldn't be doing that. There may be something else. Maybe write for a show. I understand you want to talk about it. Oh, Rich, who are you to say she can't have a show? I'm nobody. It's my opinion. But after doing this for, 15 years? You know a shit show when you hear one. And the name of the show? It's just absolutely awful. Sorry, it's called We Are Paradox Media? What is that? What is that? Yeah, I'm glad she can come over to my place and steal some people. But just so you know, half of these people won't be coming back. See, you have to have talent. Oh, so Dave just had me on because I didn't have talent? Well, Dave had you on because there was no other options at the time. And to switch out hosts on a regular basis is not good for business. So he kept you there until he couldn't anymore, sweetheart. Sorry. If you were great, he would have, laughed at maybe what you were saying. But people who are great don't need to do that to the person who owns the show that you're on. To talk shit about Dave was absolutely the most wrong thing she could have done. Just awful. Just awful. No respect. And she didn't have any respect for me when she came on my show. She's got this thing where she is going to say she has PTSD, so feel sorry for me. So she's already got the feel sorry for me if I start crying routine. Okay. Feel sorry for me because I have PTSD. PTSD from what? From life. Stressful life. Now you can have PTSD from that. It should be called PTLD, post-traumatic life disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder. from life. Just because she had a hard life. She did. So did I. So did you. Some people have it harder than others. I mean, I was homeless for a year. Were you? Have you ever lived on the streets? I have. Have you ever had a lot of money and didn't know how to save it? Me. I didn't know how, and I did, and I enjoyed it. I mean, life is a roller coaster. Everybody has ups and downs. But how dare you say you have PTSD and use it every single time something bad happens to you? It's in the chat. I'm really upset. My PTSD is getting to me. Piss off. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold this in tonight. You know, I tried to on Monday. I talked a little bit. But, you know, having her date now, this is a new network. Like, she's running her show. Get this. When my show is on Saturday, and her day host during the week, she started her own network like Hulk did. And she's competing with Spaced Out Radio. Her other host is on an hour before Dave starts and when my show is halfway over and runs into Dave's 2 hours. Do you see what an asshole she is? What an asshole. By the way, the guy that she has hosting, you got to hear this. This is just awful. Now, I would be real. Now, I said this a lot. The Hulk, he's not a bad radio guy. He actually has talent. And he was really good on the weekends, like really good. Not bad at all. I listened to the show. Now it's bad because he's lost. He doesn't have, I don't know what happened, but when things were stable and he did the weekends, it was a darn good show. Listen to this babble jab.
And or husband, I'm not sure which one it was. So that was a lovely time, and then you guys went over and almost got killed by a deer, and then
the thing is, he talked a little bit of crap about Dave without using Dave's name. Pretty assholey. So I'm just coming out and saying it. I don't give a shit. I don't care what they say about me, what they do to me, what they think they're going to be. I don't care. This is like just another wannabe startup that will never be. Look how hard it is for Dave and me. I've been doing this for a while. I had my shot and I blew it. I blew it and I'm struggling mightily. I admit it. I mean, we're growing slowly but surely, but it's hard. You have to have a lot of people in your corner to make your shows work. And we may not be heavyweights at Spaced Out Radio, and I'm considered part of that now, the we. So I'm saying it. And I would even say GUFON Radio as not as many subscribers as I thought we'd have by now. We get a lot of people listening. Now, right now, we're not on Restream, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other places because I have to set it up, and I forgot. So right now, tonight, we're only on the Tubes and kingdomofnightradio.com streaming. We may not be the heavyweights over at Spaced Out Radio, but we are the light heavyweights in the field. People listen. All kinds of people. Important people. People that can make your life hell or make it easy or whatever. I mean, we're talking, if anybody knows and follows radio, the paranormal radio, you know the good shows, you know the popular shows, you know the shows that could be popular, the people that should be popular and aren't. There's so many people out there with a lot of talent that just never get heard. And, you know, it's a shame. It's very hard to make it. And Dave has Spaced Out Radio on Monday through Friday, as far as I know. And from what I'm being told, even the weekends is on terrestrial radio. I think, 4 or 5 stations, reaching about 150, 200,000 people. Now, they're not all listening, but that's real radio right there. So you listen to her little show, and you can definitely tell the difference. I mean, I want you to hear something. Just if you never listened to her.
With my listeners and friends, and then I'm up until sometimes 8 o'clock in the morning. But it kind of gave me this different sense of reality, like just waiting for something to happen because things had happened, and it's kind of a form of PTSD, I think.
There it is again!
You're afraid to go to sleep because you're afraid of what might happen.
Oh my God, I didn't know. I just picked a place. I promise you, I didn't know that PTSD. You see, she's going to ride that all the way as far as she can. Anyway, I'm done. Done talking about that. Certain people should not be in the paranormal genre. That's all I'm saying. Certain people shouldn't do a radio show. People have said that about me. I should not have a show. All right, I'm not for you. I get it. But I don't think I'm boring. I don't think that, and I'm just being honest. I don't have dead air. I speak properly. There's a lot of good information that comes from the show, but this is something that it's annoying. Okay? It's annoying when people right in front of your face, behind your back, try to steal your fans. It was a blatant attempt. It was a one-shot thing. It's never going to happen again. So you had your chance there, Stressa. Go ahead and take your medication, smoke that bowl or 100, whatever it is you got to do to make sure your PTSD doesn't attack you in your sleep. Poor thing. I don't know how you do it. Gosh, must be tough. Must be tough. Because you know what? You know what girls can do to get popular? And it's going to happen if it hasn't already. And girls, forgive me. Forgive me for saying this. I'm not sexist. I hope you know that. I just want you to know the truth. A lot of women who don't have talent in this business, and I've seen it time and time again, will start showing more skin. And she's going to do it. Mark my words. If it hasn't happened already, I've seen a little bit already, and I shouldn't have. I wish I never did. You wait. You watch. You'll see. Because what's going to happen is, after a couple of weeks of not seeing any improvement, not seeing the same faces, not getting the same support that you would when you were on SOR, things are going to get a little bit raunchier probably, a little bit desperate. And I'm going to be right here watching. I can't show you guys cleavage. I used to have a nice ass. Now even that's a little suspect. But what am I going to do? Stand up and show you? I'm not going to do that. I'm not desperate yet. But sadly, girls can play the sex game. Guys can't. Very good-looking guys can. I am not one of those guys that would do that, and I don't consider myself in that category. I know I keep shaking my leg. The coffee's running through me. It's like I'm on a ging. I got to stop that. Stop. Anyway, I've talked way too long on this, and it's out of my system. So now I just sit back and ignore all of that from here on out. So what are we talking about next? The Betz ball. Let's get into the Betz ball. I got to turn my fan on. So while I show you this video about the Betz ball, the Betz sphere, I should be calling it properly what it is. It's a metallic sphere here. And there's been a few of these that have been found over the years. But the story about this sphere, darn it, I should have pulled that up too, is pretty interesting. I think they found it in a brush fire. And it wasn't in the ground. It was above the ground. Well, here it is. I'll play it for you. This is from... Where is this from? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
In 1974, the Betz family were inspecting the aftermath of a brush fire that just recently raged across their newly acquired 88-acre land in Fort George Island, Florida. And while they were assessing the damage, they stumbled upon a highly polished metal orb. At first they wondered if this orb was from NASA or maybe even a Russian satellite, and they also wondered if this sphere was the cause of the fire as a result from it falling from the sky and crashing onto their property. But after searching, they saw no signs of a crater, and the orb showed no signs of any damage whatsoever. So then they figured that it must be an old cannonball, although it did appear to be in near perfect condition. Now the family thought that it was a very neat find, but at that time, they really didn't think that it was anything special. So the 21-year-old son, Terry Matthew Betz, decided to keep this orb in his room on the window seat. And a couple of weeks later, Terry had some friends over, and they were playing with the guitar when all of a sudden the orb started to move on its own, and it started to display some very strange behavior, and it was also humming. Now Terry was amazed, so he showed his family, and they too were also amazed. In fact, they were speechless as they just couldn't believe what they were witnessing. Then, they started to do all sorts of experiments, and they believed that this orb was also producing high-frequency waves as their female poodle would whimper when she got close to the orb, and she would try to use her paws to cover her ears. And when the Betz family rolled the orb across the floor, the orb would stop all by itself, then it would vibrate, change direction, then return to the person who rolled it. If they rolled the orb on a table, it would move, but it would change direction right before falling over the edge. And it also seemed to be more responsive when it was a nice sunny day, opposed to a dark and rainy one. So it seemed that this orb was somehow solar powered, and as if something inside was able to control it. It's like it had its own guidance system. And the Betz family were actually afraid that it would leave the house on its own. So when no one was playing with it or watching it, they would place the orb in a sealed bag so it couldn't escape. Now the Betz family wanted answers, so they contacted the Jacksonville Journal. And the Jacksonville Journal were very intrigued by the story, so they sent out a photographer to take a few pictures of the orb and to see if this was the real deal. And the first thing the Betz family told the photographer to do was to roll the orb across the floor. And at first he was skeptical, but he was blown away by what he saw. In his own words, "They told me to put the orb on the floor and give it a push. It rolled a ways and stopped. Then it turned by itself, then rolled about 4 feet. Then it stopped again. Then it turned and rolled to the left about 8 feet, made a big arc, and came right back to my feet." And after this photographer examined and played with the orb for a little bit, he then called his boss and told him that this orb was very special indeed. And the Jacksonville Journal wasted no time. They wrote an article about the strange orb and they called it the Mysterious Sphere. And not too long after this article was published, everybody wanted to see this orb, including the New York Times, the United States military, and even NASA. And even the Army sent out an investigator to examine the sphere, and he stated that the orb did behave very strangely. Now the Betz family were getting bombarded by scientists asking them if they could send the sphere to their research facility so they could examine it. But the Betz family were warned not to do this, as they would probably never see the orb again, so they declined. But things started to get a little weird and scary, as the Betz family claimed that at night, they could hear organs playing, even though they didn't have an organ in their home. And all throughout the day the doors would violently slam all by themselves. So they decided that it was finally time to get to the bottom of this. So they sent the orb to scientists who were posted at the Jacksonville Naval Air Station. And these scientists said that the orb possessed 2 round objects inside, and it also had 4 magnetic poles. Now they were very shocked by this, so they asked the Betz family if they could drill holes inside the sphere. But the Betz family didn't want them to do that for fear of damaging the orb. And since the scientists concluded that this orb was not a product of the United States military or NASA, etc., they gave it back. Then the Betz family, then another scientist, Dr. Wilson, examined the orb, and he stated that there was in fact radio waves coming from inside the sphere, and it was surrounded by a magnetic field. He also stated that the orb did have multiple magnetic poles, just as the Navy said, and according to Dr. Wilson, this defied all known laws of physics. Now the Navy told the Betz family that the orb was made out of stainless steel, but Dr. Wilson said that it contained an unknown element, making it slightly different from steel. And Dr. Wilson also believed that it was possible that this sphere was made by an intelligent, unknown life form, extraterrestrials. But the Navy disagreed with that statement.
What I don't understand is, what I don't understand is, how does it work? it must have, I wonder if it's like a CB radio. Do you think somebody made it? Because if they were hearing an organ playing, it's almost as if the ball must have heard an organ somewhere and it was just playing it, like it liked it. It's almost as if the ball was a being, was alive, had a personality. And when it was bored, it played a little song, or when it was angry, it slammed the doors. What do you do with the ball like that? I mean, to put it inside of a sack like that, is it really a good thing to do? I would think like you're shutting its eyes, like you're treating it. I would treat it as if it was alive. How would you treat it? I mean, it's thought-provoking, it's interesting, and I am shocked they let people look at it from the government. I'm surprised they got it back. I bet you they didn't. I bet you it's an imposter. It's a dumb ball. It's like slightly off, like Young Frankenstein when they were looking for the brain to put inside of the body. And what's his name? Marty Feldman picks up a name. The label on the brain said abnormal. And he thought it was Abby Normal, like a lady named Abby Normal. But it was an abnormal brain. That's why Frankenstein... That's what they did with this poor steel ball. They put a abnormal brain back in it and gave it back to the Betzes and says, here's your ball. Turn around and start laughing. You know that's true. All right.
Then a Dr. James Albert Harder examined the sphere, and his examination and conclusion sent everybody into a panic, as he said that this orb was an extraterrestrial doomsday device.
Oh my God.
Dr. Harder believed, based on his X-ray studies, that the two internal spheres are made out of elements far heavier than anything known to science. While the heaviest element yet produced in any atomic reactor here on Earth has an atomic number 105, and the heaviest element occurring naturally on Earth is uranium, with an atomic number 92. Harder claims to have determined that the Betz sphere has atomic numbers higher than 140, and if one were to drill holes into the sphere, he asserted, perhaps the masses would go critical and it would explode like an atomic bomb.
Maybe it would. Maybe it would.
So it was a good thing that the Betz family didn't let the Navy drill holes into this orb, and he also said the people should stay as far away from this orb as possible. Then right after Dr. Harder's statement about the sphere, the Betz family and the orb just disappeared. There were no more articles, no more examinations, just nothing. It was like they vanished into a black hole, and people started to believe that after Dr. Harder's conclusion, the military got involved. Now still to this very day, 40 plus years later, a lot of people are still wondering what the heck happened. How could the Betz family and the sphere just disappear like that? This was a very popular story.
You know for a fact, Jack, they are on Mars. They are gone from this world. Nobody's seen them? In 40 years, they're gone with the ball. Oh my God. See, this is why and people have asked, Rich, if you ever saw like a huge UFO and recorded it and it wasn't fake, like you stepped inside of a UFO and videotaped it, would you show the world? I don't know. I still, to this day, don't know. That's pretty scary that the family's gone. We'll get back to that.
The media couldn't get enough of it, and there are still so many unanswered questions. Was the orb made by extraterrestrials? Was it really a doomsday device? Or was it just a very clever hoax? And sadly, I guess we will never know. But over the years, a lot of people have come forward claiming that they know the truth about this mysterious sphere. And a lot of websites say that they have debunked it. And there is no credibility to these claims whatsoever. One such article comes from Skeptoid. Within Skeptoid's article, a man claimed that he had gotten the sphere from a friend who had got it from a company. And when this man was driving home, it fell off the roof of his van. Then the orb fell onto the Betz property. And when this man was asked what was his friend or the company's name, the man wouldn't say. Well, okay, that solves it then. This guy must be telling the truth. The Betz fear is now finally solved. I mean, come on. Now, I respect these type of debunking websites, especially Skeptoid, but just because some man comes forward with a story does not mean it's debunked. And if a company made this fear, I'm sure the scientists and doctors who examined it wouldn't have been so amazed by what they found.
Right.
Making the Betz fear one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century.
You want to know something really weird? When I was in school, I was friends with a guy named Kevin Betz. Same spelling, B-E-T-Z. And I'm not lying to you when I say it looks like this guy when he was younger. I nicknamed him Palmer, and he wouldn't be my friend ever again, and you can guess why. Yeah, one of our friends walked in on him, on himself, going to town. Anyway, that's not paranormal talk, for another day. Poor Kevin Betz. Poor Palmer. I don't know what to think about this, man. I don't think it's a fake. If the family went missing and the ball is gone too, something is a tad askew. Now, what's interesting about this story is now there's a new ball. Now, this ball had no cuts in it. It was a real clean sphere. How could this guy not say extraterrestrial? He's like, I thought it was Glockner on there for a second. Well, let me pull up this other video, and you can watch it. Watch this guy make his balls move. This is going to be good stuff right here. Let me pull it up. Here it is. This is off of Ronnie Dawson. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Hello, this is Ronnie Dawson. I know I don't release a lot of videos. But
the video's awful. I'm sorry.
Not to rubber dick you for clicks, but to give you some good, solid information on some amazing stuff. And this is the case today because we traveled down to. I know you guys are interested in some of the alien artifacts that Bigelow Industry has in North Las Vegas. He doesn't have the market cornered on this kind of material. We have some here in North Central Texas, and you guys have been wanting to follow up to that. So we recently traveled down and we took some measurements and we took a weight and we checked it for radiation. And I've got some video of this. And anyway, so I'm going to show you this video. And like I said, we're still looking for someone to x-ray this. So if you have the capacity to x-ray 1.5 inches of steel with a mobile unit, please contact me, Ronnie Dawson, and so that we can get that done, because we'd like to see what's on the inside of this thing. We think it warrants further investigation, and I wouldn't have taken my time to go. It's a pretty lengthy drive down there to investigate this thing, and confidence is high. This thing came off a ranch in New Mexico about 10 years ago. It's a ranch off out in the middle of nowhere. It's not next to a highway or any place where this stuff could have rolled off a truck or anything like that. But it was associated with a UFO sighting over this ranch house. It scared the hell out of the family that lived there. And the next morning they came out and there was like 12 of these things laying on their lawn. So this is one of the 12 things. And the guys had it for years. So and we're checking it out, and confidence is high that this is not something normal, something explainable. So. And like I said, you can see the video. I don't have no idea for a fact that this is part of a UFO, but I can't say that it's not either. So if you think you know what it is, feel free to comment. And if you have the capacity to do some x-raying for us, please get in contact. Let me show you.
You go to your settings and you type in hotspot and...
Holy cow. Look, it did a circle. It did.
That is cool. I mean, you know, you'd think they would at least sweep the floor a little bit. I mean, there's stuff all over. Look at this. Look at the wires all over. At least clean up. You can hear the dirt crunching underneath it. How do people live like that? I don't get it. Whoops. Meanwhile, there's somebody in the ball. They start knocking on the outs. They're like inside trying to knock. I don't know why they can't hear us. Scream a little louder. I don't know why they can't hear me. Martha, what do you think it is? It's a dirty floor. I think it repels the sound on the inside. I can't believe they shrunk us and put us inside of this little ball. Walk over here. Walk this. They're inside walking around. That's why the ball moves. There's people in there. It's people! Oh, here.
This is a sphere of Jim Marlin's that came from a UFO.
Look at this.
It seems to have this sleeve in it.
Well, it's got no.
There's a very tight circle.
Look at all the scratches on this thing.
Feel it with your fingernail.
They made this. This is made. Oh no!
Barely notice it.
Oh,
it's incredibly tight. It seems to go plumb through the ball.
That's not a real ball.
This thing is cut.
That's man-made, Jose. The other ones don't have any cuts in it.
On the camera.
That's the ball? Well, the story is there was 12 of them out there somewhere. Oh, maybe I have to find the story.
You can barely feel it with your fingernail.
You can barely figure with your fingernail. Well, maybe it's not man-made. It sure looks like it. Filthy, dirty. So that's the guy's ball? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, that's it.
It seems to have some, likes when you put it down, it likes to roll.
What, did they film this part first? I bet you it's just because, now, did you know the Betz ball was 25 pounds and was the size of a bowling ball? This one would weigh like 400 pounds if it was that size.
I'm just going to sit it down now.
Hey, how big is this? I can't, oh, it's not that big. So this one should be about 50 pounds. Listen to the lady on the phone. You can't do this without her yapping. Shut your trap, lady. Always on the phone, this one. Listen. Oh, she's talking to her mom. I gotta tell you, I'm unimpressed. I didn't watch that whole thing. I watched a part of it, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I don't know. I kind of think it's fake. Do you guys know what this noise is? If anybody can guess this, you're the best. Can anybody guess what this is? Maybe anybody would know it would be Will. But I see he's probably fell asleep. Oh my God! Spook! How'd you know? It's Benoit balls. How did you know? I can't believe this. Unbelievable. How did you know that? I used to do these things real good. Roll one of them through the fingers, over the top of the knuckles, underneath. Yeah, I've had these, believe it or not, since high school, probably. They were in there. They come out of this. And I don't know where I got them from. I don't know. But we'll put them back in their little box. A little felt I like the noise. It's Benoit balls, man. They're supposed to be very soothing, and it gets your zen and chi and all that stuff right and where it's supposed to be. So these balls, I don't know what these spheres do. I don't know what they're for. I don't know if it's some sort of like, maybe it's a social experiment. Maybe NASA or maybe Harvard or one of these places, Stanford, maybe they made these things and just dropped them off and see what happened if people found them. And when they moved or when somebody found them, it would trigger an alarm for somebody at the university. And they're able to make it move and do all sorts of things. Maybe it's something like that. It could just be a social experiment. You know what it could be? It could also be like, you know how we're in a matrix? Follow me a little bit. A little bit. Well, maybe it's just part of the theater, or, part of the computer program, I don't know. So I met a guy today on the phone. And I'm talking to him. And he goes, this is what he says to me. I mean, talk about who does this. This is why I love this job I have. Who does this? Listen to this. So I'm talking to him about his company. And he goes, hold on a second, Rich. Hold on. He goes, we've had this problem in Cleveland with the airplanes flying overhead. They changed their routes. So I'm like, is this guy going to talk about, is he going to talk about a floating airplane? Is he going to talk about how the city and the sound ordinance is fighting against the airplane company or whatever, the airport, because now there's a lot of sound when they fly overhead. So I hear an airplane, and he's like, hold on, I got to record this. And I go, man, that stinks. That's loud. He's like, no, it's great. I'm like, I go, why is it great? He goes, hold on. Don't say anything for a few seconds. I go, okay. He goes, I'm recording this. Hold on. He goes, but you can hear it? I said, yes. So a few seconds goes by, and he comes back and he tells me, he goes, for the last 8 months, and you can hear it in his voice, he says, there has been, since I noticed this, there has been what I believe, Rich, and he goes, and I don't know where you stand or what you know. I don't know your politics. I don't know your life. I just met you. He goes, but I'll tell you what I'm doing because I want people to know. I said, okay, this has to do with something like chemtrails or something like that. So he says, he goes, I've been researching for the last 8 months how certain airplanes are changing the weather. And I said, oh my God. Now, I didn't tell him right away anything about what I know, what I am. I didn't even give him my last name. And I don't have to. So I wrote a bunch of notes here while we were talking, and I can't figure them out. But he gave me the name and the website of some people that I'm going to look into before I tell them out loud. But he says, bro, he goes, there's geo-weather modification going on. He goes, the government's doing it. The newspapers won't write about it. He goes, there's this document. It's 887. It's about weather modification. And I'm like, oh my God, you're only into this for 8 months? So after he goes on and tells me, he goes, do you know anything about this? And I go, John, whatever his name was. I go, I have been researching that for the last 15 years. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, bro, I'm going to take off my sunglasses and I'm going to give you a big hug. I can't believe I met somebody in Arizona that, because he's trying to meet people all around. He goes, I don't know anyone in Arizona. Now I'm thinking, oh my God, now this guy's going to want to be friends. I don't have room. I told him, don't you know that the chemtrails aren't a conspiracy anymore? It's all real. He goes, yeah, but the government's doing other stuff. People are getting sick. I'm like, I said, you're into it 8 months. And I go, and it sounds like you're enjoying it. I go, let's talk again in a year and let me know where you stand. Because you're going to change your mind. Back and forth and back and forth. He goes, no, not me, man. He goes, I write letters to the newspaper, to the TV, to everybody. He goes, people got to know what's going on. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, I think they know what's going on, but nobody's going to do anything about it. Nobody's been doing anything about it. You're not the first. I didn't tell him this, but I'm like, you're not the first guy who's ever written his, Congress to say we must stop this bioengineering the weather. But I'm like, all the people in the world, I got to meet this guy who's shushing me so he can record the airplane above. And something to do with the sound. The sound waves are dangerous from an airplane. Did you know? They are. If it's in your backyard, not 10,000 feet above. No, Rich. No, you don't understand, man. There's something in the airplanes when they fly over. They're sending out signals all over the place. Woo! I found one today. I was thrilled about that. So, I gave him, I didn't give him the website. I didn't tell him about the show. So if he looks up Rich, Arizona, he's going to find me. And if you found me, I'm sorry, but everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows. I didn't want to break your heart. No, but what are they really doing? I felt good. I felt happy for the guy. I really did. He was on to something. And I love that about what we do, because when you're on to something, there's no better feeling. Even if like for me, if I find a little story that I haven't heard of, I'm like, oh my God, I never heard of this. This is amazing. And I think I pretty much heard a lot, almost everything in ufology. And chemtrails, weather modification. He started talking about how they're purposely melting the ice. And I said, I got to go because I'm working. I go, but let's just catch up some other time, man. He's like, okay. He goes, can you do me a favor? I said, what? He says, he gave me a quote, like 2 words to say. He goes, promise me you'll say moving forward or something like that. And I said, I'm moving forward for you, John. I really am. Well, he bonded. And then he hung up and he sounded like he said, he don't care. It sounded like he hit the button, but it didn't register yet. And he goes, he don't care. I did. I was sincere. I do care. I just don't have time. That's the thing with it. It's a lot to talk about. And right now you're a little bit too anxious for me. And I want you to calm down. We'll talk in a year. In a year. Because you're just starting out. Look, in Arizona, chemtrails are a real deal. I send the pictures up on Facebook, Twitter all the time whenever they're out there. And we haven't had rain, okay, in the monsoon. 41 years I'm out here. This is the first time it's never not rained. This is the first time I've ever seen it not rain during a monsoon season. And there's no end of this in sight. Yet I did see some nice cumulus clouds in the distance creeping their way in here, so maybe it's trying. They said it's going to be a late start in Arizona. What happened is we had too much rain in the winter, they said. It actually rained in May, which it rarely does, and in June, which it rarely does in Arizona. We usually don't get rain May, June, July, and then it starts in the middle of the end of August. Sometimes we'll get 1 storm, 2 storms, and then every other night in September. They said it rained too much in the wintertime and it rained too long. So the ground hasn't had enough time to evaporate and get that brittle desert rock sand type of stuff that can heat up the ground, which heat and humidity creates violent thunderstorms. You can feel the humidity out here. It's just no clouds are building up. It's weird. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, it smells like rain. No clouds. I've never, ever seen that ever. And now I was a storm chaser for 7 years. And I know what it is. I know what the monsoon season does. And it's not doing it for the first time. So they said, we're going to have a late spring up of storms that'll probably start the end of August now and run into September and a little bit of October. Well, last year, it ran into October. And it was very surprising. I said, wow, the summers seem to be starting later and ending later. In the last 2 years, I said, something's not right. And every now and then, now I'm a sky watcher. I'm out there. I know the sky. I know where the moon should be at night. I know where the sun should be rising. And to see it so far north, the moon rising that far north. Hey, look, Richie from Boston ain't that off. And Mr. MBB 333, when he shows the alignment with people in their cars, showing their rear view mirrors, compass showing northeast. Well, I brought out a compass, something that everybody should have, and the moon was coming up and the sun comes up in the same place. Northeast east. That is unreal. It's unreal. They're saying that the North Pole, like true north, has moved so far south. It's so far south, more than I ever thought, and it's speeding up and speeding up. We've got cracks in the earth, volcanoes. I mean, there's everything going on. Growing up until 2004, when they had that big tsunami, the India earthquake, and there was 230,000 people got killed right around Christmas or on Christmas, you rarely heard of a tsunami. Rarely. And I know that a lot of these coasts since then, 2004 tsunami, put up a lot of better warning systems and horns and things that'll go off. I get it. But they had them in place even before then. Now it seems like they doubled the warnings. Isn't it weird how it's like every month there's a tsunami somewhere? But I'm not seeing video. I hear about them, but I don't see video. I know there's been a lot of tsunami warnings, but I've never ever seen so much activity happening at one time. It's just it's wild, man. And a lot of people are using this, saying that there's a change happening. There's a shift in everything, in spirituality, ascension, right? People are all over that stuff now, more than ever. People are talking about astral. What is it? They go into the astral plane, and they can talk to other beings light years away. No, they can't. Sorry. If I can't do it, they can't do it. Oh, come on. You hear the stories. They're all the same. Save the planet. Stop using the earth. Stop eating out of the oceans. What are we supposed to do? Everybody loves shrimp and crab. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people do. And 70%, maybe 80% of the Earth's population lives on the coast. If you didn't know that, it's a true statistic. I don't know, 75%, it's a lot. And everybody else is scattered everywhere else. Of course, we're going to eat the oceans, gobble them up. What do they want? What are these aliens telling us that we haven't heard? Brother. Ooh. I found some of those clips on for Spaced Out Saturday of Nepetia. I couldn't find the one where he's by the fire, but I found the one where he's singing. I accidentally deleted the clip, the actual MP3, out of my computer one day. I don't know. I don't know how I did it. I can't find it. I can't find it on YouTube's either. Campfire chat with Bigfoot. Don't know where it is, but I want to find it. But I don't think that we're channeling Bigfoot. I don't think we're channeling anybody. I'm sorry if you believe in that. I just don't. When a guy closes his eyes and goes, I am speaking to you, and my name is Ikita. That's the best you can come up with, Ikita? I come through this galaxy because somebody channeled me. Yeah, I did. I want to talk. Do you want to talk? Why did you channel me? I was sleeping. Yeah, I got a few questions. I was channeling some Bigfoots. Hey, you tuned in. What do you want from me? You ready? I'm ready for you. You seem hostile. Hey. You watch your foot. Huh? You watch it. I'm trying to channel this freaking guy, and he's over here being I'm too tired. I don't want to do this. Who are you? Hey, you know who I am? Your worst fucking nightmare. Get to sleep, you fuzzy bastard. You are very hostile, and I can't break the connection. Connection, erection. Hey, it's the election. Get out of here. Trump is going to lose. Oh, hey. Hello? Shit, he disconnected. How did they pull the umbilical cord out that far away? I have no idea. There's no channeling going on. If I can't do it, you can't do it. I'm telling you, I wanted to talk to Bigfoot. I wanted to talk to an alien. I wanted to talk to somebody on this planet mentally. It doesn't work. No, not a zip. And I know how. I know how to get into deep state. But trust me, it ain't happening. You can't do it either. I can't do it. And I'm not saying because you can't do it, nobody can. That's why psychics suck. Why don't they ever tell us something we really need? Huh? Tell me where the key is to the vault. Can't you tell me that? Grandma won $100,000 playing bingo over the last 10 years. She said they hid the money in a mattress. Boom, rip open a mattress, no money. Where is it? Did she spend it? Was Grandma a liar? Yeah, your grandmother lied a lot. Get out. Oh, my God. Next thing you know, you're going to tell me your teeth are fake. They were fake. Oh, no. Grandma. I mean, people lie all the time, man. Man, I can't wait till I die and you guys find out all this stuff I haven't told you. It's going to be like, oh, I better pick somebody to get this stuff. It ain't going to my folks. They might be dead by then, but if they're not, and it ain't going to anybody else in my family, so we need to have a discussion. I don't want my tapes just going to anybody. I got stuff on there that's like, remember what I said earlier about having a certain video that, if you told anybody, they may kill you. I may have something like that. Why do you think I am who I am? Why do you think I get so mad? You want to see? Look. This is, I got 2 of these. Your mother's got, this is full of all my tapes. There are some, not all of them. This is about a third of them. Where are we? There's just some in there. I think I got about 90 in here. And I brought them back over here because I was going to try to get them back on and do more editing. There's a vault program that I know, but I'm not talking about that. I have things on real recordings. I don't put it on my computer. No. I was going to get a safety deposit box. You know, like all the gangsters do, right? When they have to leave the family, they go to the bank and they get the fake ID, the mustache, the hair, and they leave the city, the country, the world. A Boy George tape in there. You know, let's just put it this way. There's nothing in there that would make me look bad, to be honest. I did record my neighbor showering, though, which was and she did it on purpose. And then the husband comes in and turns off the light because it was at night. True story. I was outside with my camera. She would see me out there all the time. She was clean in the shower on Saturday. Looked out, waved to me. Hot. Yeah, she lived a little diagonal when I lived over in a nice part of town. And it was like 9 at night. I know she saw me. My backyard. Someday I'll show that video to somebody. It's a real video. Oh my God, when her husband came in, because when you're inside and you have the light on, you can't see outside that easily. But he knew. He turned off the light, but you can still see an outline of her. And him, they were arguing in the dark while she was in the shower. True story. Does that make me a bad guy? No. It makes her a bad wife. Right? Right? Never saw it. They got drapes the next day. I don't care. I was out there sky watching. I saw 2 moons over my hammy. You see a lot of weird stuff, man, when you're driving down the road, too. I videotaped all sorts of stuff. There was a guy driving home, and I'll have to find it. It's on one of my most recent tapes. In the back of his, I think it was a Suburban, there was a huge pot plant hanging out the back of it. He was driving down the freeway with the pot plant. Huge pot plant. I thought that was funny. Seen a lot of people getting arrested. See a bunch of accidents. I was recording everything driving home. I had an hour and 15 to hour and 30 minute drive one way to work. 42 miles each way. It sucked. But I was early every day. And what was I saying? What was I talking about? I know what I was talking about. What was I getting to? Oh, we got to find somebody who can get my stuff. Who would we do? Who would have access? Look, I could have a heart attack anytime. Who would it be? Yeah, I noticed something too. That is interesting. In the bathtub. I think I lost. All the girls are gone now. You pig. You sexist. It really isn't what you think. It isn't. Dig a hole in the backyard. Not a good idea. I'm in deep thought right now. There's something else I was supposed to talk about, I know. Hold on. Oh, okay. You already seen that. All right. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, stressa. So anyway, just make sure if you see any activity in the chat room on Saturday, you tell somebody. Get them out of there. Now we're going to have eyes on that all the time. What? Oh, what time is it? Oh, that's right. We're not talking about that anymore. That was over an hour ago. What are we doing? The Betz. Oh, the spheres. That'd be good. Let's talk. When? We already talked about that? Okay. You sure? Okay, I don't remember it. You positive? We don't. Okay. So, maybe. Okay. We're going to do. What? Who? Guys. Chimp Coffee! Todo senza cappuccino, botta da sala, vaffanculo, friga bella buttana. Hey! Chimp, Coffee. I want to tell you that I can't stand you, son of a b. What do you say, Coffee? I wish my voice worked like it used to. The dream is coming. Tomorrow, GUFON Network, GUFON.net actually, it's easier to remember, is going to be updated now officially starting tomorrow morning. So I'm going to advertise on there for the shows, and it will be updated with stories that I find interesting. There will be a political section on my paranormal site. It'll be in the corner on the right. The left? No, the right. It's on the right. The left. So tomorrow, when you wake up, if you want some paranormal news, it could be UFOs, it could be anything. It could just be a video I found and want you to see it. But I usually post every morning, the way I used to do it, 5 things. So I would post 2 videos, 2 stories, and 1 paranormal picture. And if I do that every day, that adds up over time. Some days I'll have 8, some days I'll have 5, but never less than 5. All right, let me pull up this video for you. This might be good, actually. Wait a second. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can't do that. No. Did we already do? We already did that? No. Oh, no. Wait. No. You know what I like? You know what I think is very interesting? The Ark of the Covenant. Supposedly, the government was looking for it back in the Persian Gulf War, and so was Saddam Hussein. Supposedly, he got close. But they're saying it's real, the Ark of the Covenant. I don't know. Is that something? I have to think that all these things come from aliens. How else would we perceive something that can do and have the power it has? Like, we would call it not a god, but extraterrestrial. Back in those days, they called them gods. I really believe that. And you want to know why spirituality and ascension is so popular? Do you want to know why? Because Dr. Greer, Stephen Greer, he says he talks to the aliens. He told the Phoenix Lights where to go when they came down here on March 13th, 1997. I want you to turn left at the big mountain there. It looks like a Camelback. They call it Camelback Mountain. Make a U-turn, go up to Squaw Peak. Turn around, go straight down area. We have a State Route 51. 51. On the walls of the 51, on the walls of the freeway, it tells a story from the Hohokam Indians of the star gods or star people. And it tells them to follow the freeway, which is where they saw the Phoenix Lights, right at the airport. That's where it takes you. The story on the sign, on the sides of the freeway, tells the story of the star people coming in over Arizona. Unbelievable, right? And you want to say that you don't believe in this stuff because you don't have proof? Not everything needs proof. But if you go back, way back, ho-ho-cum, the ancient Greeks and the Romans, and you want to go past that, the dinosaurs, they're like, eating berries on and all that. They knew too. They knew. But this astral stuff has got to stop. The only reason they're doing it is because they can't explain the UFO phenomena. So they have to create something that makes sense to them. That's what I think. That's what I think. When you don't have proof or the answers, you do something to make it real. I think that's what happens to people. I don't know what it is. What is it? People need to have that confirmation so they don't go insane. Because some people like Dr. Greer can't understand. But in his mind, he's seen everything, this guy. He's seen it all. All sorts of aliens, man. Talking a 9 different kind. Yeah. Can you show us how to do it? You have to change your vibration to get in line. Shut the frigonometry up. You know how many times my vibration has changed? I even turned up the heater. So it felt better. It doesn't work. You know what works? Your imagination, okay? Some people aren't going to like what I'm saying. They're going to be like, oh, he knows everything. No, if I can't do it, they're not doing it. Yep, that's right. That's how I prove things. Because you can't just say, oh, I'm talking to Arath. He is a Sasquatch. You would call him a Bigfoot. No. Shut up. Okay? It ain't real. You're not doing it. Nobody's doing it. So tired of it. Seriously. Tired of it. I don't know I was going to play something. Now I'm not in a good mood. I can't find what I'm looking for, so let's just do this. Well, let's check something out. Let's see if Secure Team made a video yet. I'm not subscribed anymore. Oh my God. Oh my God, 28 minutes ago. I'm not kidding, look. Oh, wait. Here. Oh, listen to this bullshit story.
Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. So, again, I'm sure many of you, I know many of you, are wondering where I've been. And from the comments on many of my videos, it would seem that a good portion of you, or at least some, are angry. Gossip and speculation has gone wild, it would seem, with people thinking I've been abducted or that I'm in a hole somewhere in Venezuela hiding out, or that...
God, we could only wish this prick wouldn't show back up. Damn it, I freaking knew it.
I've, had some sort of...
And isn't it amazing? He comes back during the holiday weekend that's coming up in a few days. It's the last summer hurrah, you dork. Oh, he hasn't done it yet, so.
Breakdown. And while I appreciate all of the spectacular tales being told about me, I've already basically said in a couple of videos and on Twitter and Facebook basically what was going on over this past month or two, and I don't want to really get into it here other than to say I've had multiple family tragedies in the past months, one after the other, and I can only say that family, at the end of the day, takes precedence over everything else, and I simply could not work, wasn't in the mind frame.
First of all, can I explain something? Unless his mother or father dies, there was no reason for him to not post a video at least once a week for the last month. He did say something in other videos. I remember him saying that. But when you notice your fans are upset, this is why he doesn't care. He just wanted time off. He doesn't care. How many times do I have to say it? Smiling. No smiles in the pictures. Only talks about himself.
To work, and I didn't just want to slap up videos when I wasn't 100% there. So that is why I haven't posted, and as things have finally started to calm down on that front, I will be quietly coming back to the channel, doing what I love to do.
He said that 100 times.
All of you guys love to watch and to listen to, and that is all of the strange stuff happening around the world. And I appreciate all of you. I love you guys for sticking by me and understanding that sometimes things get rough for people, and you have to take a break to deal with those things, and then you come back. And boy, have I wanted to get back.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So with that, let's go ahead and jump back into it with some news stories and happenings that have been going on lately.
See, and that's what he's doing. And you notice there's no emotion. There's no influx in his voice. He's very monotone. It's just as a matter of fact, because that's what liars, sociopaths do. Somebody asked me about my teeth. Fantastic. I don't know. Why would you ask that? My teeth are great. Yeah, they haven't melted. This guy is such a liar. And the best thing for him to do is the way he did it, is just come back and start as if nothing happened and just maybe mention it for a second. But, you know, just do it as a matter of fact. I wonder how many times he had to redo that recording.
The first of which I want to show you guys is a finding that my friend over at UFOsightingsdaily.com, Scott Waring, discovered. He posted a video about it where he was going over some SOHO imagery. Now, you guys know that we have these satellites that are orbiting our sun, taking constant photos or images and video of our sun. Many different cameras and instruments. And so one day, Scott was looking over the sun, and we've caught many UFOs on these cameras in the past. You're looking at some of those UFOs here, some of my favorites. These things seem to proliferate around our sun, and in many cases will linger there, sometimes for days, weeks, even months, and they take a variety of...
I guess I see that, Nathan, because you guys care about my teeth. Yeah, I get nervous talking about some stuff because I read comments under some videos and they're like, thanks for spending 5 minutes talking about your teeth. That's 5 minutes I'll never get back. See, people don't realize what this show is. That's the whole thing. That's why it's not like any other show. There are some nights where I'll talk about, well, pretty much every show, I talk about something in my life or something that's happened. And the only reason I do that, I want to be transparent as much as possible. I mean, I'm not going to tell you certain things, of course, to stay somewhat private. But talking about Angus's death or the moving spoon in my place, which is still happening, I'm just not talking about it. And other things, knocks now, I'm getting the 3 knocks like this. Not as loud, well, I couldn't tell what you heard, but, and it's happening right by the Ouija board. See, these things I don't tell you because cuckoo. I am going to be called the Cuckoo Man. I probably already am and don't even know it. Anyway, I talk about this stuff because I want you to know what's going on with me. Because if you need help with something, at least you know if I've been through it. At least you know I share the experience with you. Because there's people out there who can't. And if they hear me talk about my experiences, maybe it helps them with theirs. Even with Angus. The hardest thing I've ever been through. If it wasn't for him, I know. No, I'm not going to cry. I'm pretty much, I think I've emptied the well. I think I've emptied the well. I'll tell you about the last time, but not now. Anyway, back to this video. Let's see what he's saying.
Of shapes, from things like these massive Star Trek looking ships, like you're seeing here. Here you're seeing a capture of one of these elongated craft or cigar-shaped craft. We see many of those, and it would seem that these cylinder or cigar-shaped craft are seen more than any of the other shapes. This object, you can see lights on it or lights reflecting, arms coming out. Likewise, here is another favorite of mine of what definitely looks like some sort of mechanical craft with various arms protruding from it at various lengths. And then we have the V-shaped or triangular objects that have been captured. And this relates to what Mr. Waring has discovered. So we have one of the V-shaped objects captured here above the sun a few years back. Clearly a V-shaped object of some sort lingering up to the right of the sun. Here again, we have another one of these sort of V or triangular shaped ships. Some of them look like shuttles or rockets. And that leads us to this finding that Scott made, where it would seem that over a period of at least weeks to months, there was a black triangle UFO seen moving across the sun, at times disappearing into the sun and coming back out, but definitely looks like a black triangular shaped object of some sort. And well, I will play you a clip from his video, and you guys can tell me what you think, and we'll talk.
Get rid of this. Here is that triangle UFO. Is this amazing or what?
Or what?
And I have it going all the way back to June 8th. Okay, going back to June 8th. And yeah, I had to say that in my head. Okay, June 8th, and it's coming. As you see, it's moving across the sun. It's not the camera that's moving here. This is a close-up of that certain area.
It's a bird.
And you can see this object.
It's Icarus. God, people are so stupid.
It caught on the surface of the sun. And I believe it could be an alien spacecraft.
I hear Iron Maiden in the background playing The Flight of Icarus. Don't you hear it? I can't play it or I'll get dinged. Fly, touch the sun. What is it? What is it? I can't.
About the size of Earth's moon that's caught on the surface of the sun. No, it's black because it's cooler than the rest of the area of the sun. And I thought, well, maybe this is a black spot. But it's not. It's really not. I mean, the spots are huge. This is small. This is tiny. And this object looks like it's on the surface, like it's on the lower orbit. Now, imagine this. Imagine something that was in the lower Earth's orbit. It would be, maybe a spaceship, an alien spaceship, and the spaceship is caught.
As the sun breaks above the ground, an old man stands on the hill. As the ground warms to the first rays of light, a bird song shatters the still. His eyes are ablaze. See the madman in his gaze. Fly on your way like an eagle. Fly as high as the sun. On your way like an eagle. Fly, touch the sun. Now the crowd breaks and a young boy appears, looks the old man in the eye as he spreads his wings and shouts at the crowd, in the name of God, my Father, I'll fly. Here we go, we'll play it. His eyes seem so glazed. What is it? It stopped? Oh, it probably did, didn't it? Oh no, it's going. As he flies on the wings of a dream, now he knows his father betrayed. Now his wings turn to ashes his grave. Fly on your way like an eagle, fly as high as the sun. On your way, like an eagle, fly, touch the sun. On your way, like an eagle, fly. I can't believe I just did that. This sucks. I just wanted to hear somebody sing over the sun. It was like Bruce Dickinson was right here in my videos. It was.
Captured what appears to be a fleet of objects passing behind it.
Oh,
okay, so obviously, from what we have here, there seems to be a grouping of objects captured via telescope passing behind the moon, not in front, but behind. And so, unfortunately, I don't have a location, who is behind the footage, so I can't 100%, say it's real, 100% say it's false, but as of right now, it looks pretty legit to me. I've looked at a ton of telescopic footage over the years, but at the very least, while we're trying to figure out more about it, I thought I'd post it. You guys tell me what you think. I mean, we have been documenting these UFOs above the moon for years, some of which we know for 100% fact are real and from real footage. For instance, I like to go back to the Apollo missions because we know that these were filmed by astronauts. They're part of the public record. And you have videos such as this captured during the Apollo 11 mission. And this is film. This is 16 millimeter DAC footage captured on film of objects flying down into craters as the astronauts...
What? An encore? An encore? No. We can do another one here. Here, let's do Hallowed Be Thy Name. I'm waiting in my cold cell when the bell begins to chime. Come on, everybody. Reflecting on my past life, and it doesn't have much time. 'Cause at 5 o'clock, they take me to the gallows post. Yeah, it's a live show. The sands of time for me are running low. Running low. Yeah. Right? And then it goes, what? When the priest comes to read me the last rites, I take a look through the balls at the last sights of a world that has gone very wrong from me. Can it be that there's some sort of error? Hard to stop the melting terror. Is it really the end of some crazy dream? I had to reset. Somebody please tell me that I'm dreaming. It's not easy to stop from screaming. The words escape me when I try to speak. Tears flow, but why am I crying? After all, I'm not afraid of dying. Don't I believe that there never is an end? When the Somebody please tell me that I'm dreaming. Is this the same part? Did I already say that? I did. As the gods march me out to the courtyard. Oh, that's another part. Somebody cries from a cell, God be with you. If there's a God, why does it let me go? As I walk, my life drifts before me. No, the end is near. I'm not sorry. Catch my soul. It's willing to fly away. Mark my words. Believe my soul lives on. Don't worry now that I have gone and gone beyond to seek the truth. When you know that your time is close at hand, maybe then you begin to understand that the life here is just a strange illusion. Yeah. Hallowed be thy name. Yeah. Hallowed be thy name. How embarrassing. I don't give a shnikey. And I don't drink. I don't drink. Oh, God, I haven't sang in a long time. My throat actually hurts. Thank God, right? Thank God. All right, you guys, let's get out of here. You have been listening to GUFON Radio Stream, and I have been your host tonight, Rich Giordano. Don't forget, the next broadcast from me is going to be on Spaced Out Radio. Saturday night, 12 midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on spacedoutradio.com and Kingdom of Nye. Streaming on Kingdom of Nye Radio, too. I hope you guys have a good week. I may do something Friday just because it's a holiday weekend. See you guys. Thank you, everybody in the chat room. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. I'll see you Saturday, Spaced Out Radio. Jeff Willis will be joining me. See ya. Yeah. I love this part. Little bass. Should we go to Discord for a little bit? Yeah, whatever. All right, it's over. Turn it off. Nobody cares. Stressa.